one question, because I'm always curious. What was your first paid acting gig?
My first paid acting gig. Oh my gosh.
Define paid.
Yes,
got a check.
I got paid. I got a check.
When you got actual bankable dollars.
Could be $50. I don't care. What was the first time that you became an actual working actor?
It was kind of right after I graduated, and it was it called the G Network? Do you guys know them? They do a lot of video games.
G4.
Oh yeah, G4.
G4.
It was for G4. And they did this kind of like silly Santa, like series of sketches where I ended up playing like 6 different characters. And as someone who had just graduated from theater school, I was just so ready for that, you know, and we shot it almost like it was on stage. And yeah, we shot for like 6 days or something. I was in absolute heaven. And again, could not have been more green or wide-eyed or silly, stupid, in love with what I was doing. Yeah, I got paid $1,000, and I almost framed the check, and it was $1,000. It was a really good check.
That's a pretty good check for the first time out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought so too. And then I thought, oh, this is for me on set. It's all coming, and then
Yeah.
and then you realize how hard.
Yeah. What was the first thing you bought with your money?
Food and pay my rent, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
The essentials at that point.
There was no splurge. You like
maybe I hit Forever 21. I don't know. But yeah, they're definitely. I think as an artist, you just never know when it's coming, which is one of my motivating factors to start my own company. So it was very stressful for me, always having to wait for other people to give me my opportunity. Mm-hmm. I mean, now with my company, I still have to have clients hire me, so it's still that way. But I'm as I've gotten older, I've gotten far too type A to wait around. But yeah, you just want to as an artist, you got to be careful with your spending. You just can't bank on it.
Yep.
And you don't want to feel desperate. Anything that you can do to protect yourself from feeling desperate is important.
Well, I'm actually in that weird position right now. I was working a full-time office job for the last couple of years, and then I decided to go back to being a filmmaker in February. I was on a 3-week trip to the Philippines. I'm like, when I get back, I'm done with the office thing. So I got back and I jumped back in. But yeah, it's been a awakening again. Like, oh yeah, I can't just go spend money whenever I want anymore. I gotta remember to keep it.
Yeah, if you want to hear some of the adventures about the Philippines, you go to the website and go back to him and Steve, one of the other co-hosts on the podcast. They had some pretty cool adventures in the Philippines.
My regular co-host Steve went to the Philippines with me. And it was a lot of fun. We podcasted like 4 or 5 times from the Philippines. And they're pretty funny. They're very funny.
If I could be, I'm definitely checking them out.
There's a video on the YouTube channel too of us eating like bizarre foods, which is pretty cool.
Very gross.
Very gross. I love gross things. I'm going to check that out.
All right.
No balls though.
No balls. Oh God, that would have been perfect. That's a perfect storm there.
Steve talking about bullet though.
Yeah. If I could have gone, the only other thing I'd want to do besides being an actor is just a professional traveler. If anyone out there wants to pay me to do that, I'm super down.
Well, when we grow and we get to the point where I'm doing travel shows, I'll keep you in mind.
Do you know there are professional travelers? There are companies out there, and I haven't checked it out in a while, but you can actually take people on tours and be their tour guide. Mm-hmm. Personally,
my friend Molly. Actually, if you go to the Voices 93 podcast, look up the Molly McCracken episode. She's one of the girls I went to high school with, and she actually did that for a bunch of years. She traveled all over the world doing tours.
Yeah, and the company will pay these tour guides to say, you know what, I've got a busload of people who want to tour the Grand Canyon, study up on the Grand Canyon, have fun.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds so. And
you get to travel, and get paid to do it.
Molly's episode is awesome. She's a total like crazy artist type person. She's not an actor. She just lives that kind of crazy art
bohemian kind of
like, very bohemian.
Yeah,
she loves wearing tutus and like colored dreads in her hair, and she goes to Burning Man every few years, and she drives a limo bus to make money 10 months of the year, and then she travels 2 months of the year.
Kind of like Ted Fred, one of our other
a lot like Ted.
Kind of maybe we should introduce them.
There's a lot of really interesting people on the podcast. I've never been to Burning Man.
I've only seen pictures.
I've heard it's awesome. I have never been either. I'm dying to go though.
Well, maybe we can go have a beer at Burning Man.
That would be ideal. That would be ideal. It's supposed to be the ultimate, like, I mean, people, they have, like, come down, like, Burning Man parties with one another and all these friends that they've met. And it's just supposed to be the ultimate, like, artist retreat and art.
I see some amazing art. The scrap metal art guys that put together these amazing pieces.
It's also like very dirty and very smelly.
Yeah, well, you're camping out with a lot of people who don't want to take a shower.
I know. I'm getting old and kind of curmudgeonly.
Yeah, I'm getting just.
No, I get that. Well, you don't have to go the whole time, and maybe you could, you can make friends with someone who has a shower. It sounds like the place that you do that.
So you say you want to travel. Have you done a lot of traveling?
I wish I had done more. I've done a little bit. I lived in England, and I went to a school called BADA out there when I was in college, which is the British American Dramatic Academy. And that was the best time ever. I lived there for 6 months, and it was so phenomenal. And I love Shakespeare. That's really kind of what hooked me on acting. And so it was a, classic conservatory, and we wore rehearsal skirts and corsets and carried fans every day and took clowning classes and then text analyzing classes. And we saw 3 to 4 plays a week. And I really fell in love with England, and I loved living there. I loved the English people and their sense of humor. I think they're great. And so I got to live somewhere abroad, which was so wonderful. And then I got to do a little bit of traveling there, and I've been to France and Spain, but I've never been to Italy. I'd love to go to Italy. Greece, I'd love to go to. Have you guys been to Greece?
I haven't made it to Europe yet at all.
I went to New Zealand.
I've done Asia. I've done Mexico,
I went to New Zealand.
Canada.
I went to New Zealand over Christmas, and is that not the most beautiful place that you've ever been?
Where'd you go?
We went to Franz Josef, Queenstown. That's where we spent kind of the majority of our time.
I love Queenstown. Did you go to Auckland?
Oh my gosh. No, I did not.
Oh, it's beautiful. Oh my goodness. It really is a jewel.
So many places. I mean, we instantly were like, this wasn't enough time.
Yeah,
it sounds to me like you've done a little bit of traveling, though. It's not like the people I met when I went to Texas for college. I met people in the city of Waco who had never left their county in their entire life, and they were in their 50s.
Yes, I've definitely done more traveling than that. Definitely.
It's like you haven't even gone up to Dallas, like to watch the Cowboys play. Why would I do that? They're on TV.
That was kind of the mentality in Rhode Island too when I was growing up.
They're on the TV. There's no need to drive to Dallas. Okay.
Rhode Island is the size of San Diego County, and frankly, I can't imagine not leaving San Diego County to go somewhere to do something.
I know.
There are people who are like that, and I'm like, I'm busting out of here. I think that's why me and Seth MacFarlane both left.
And there's so many lessons to be learned and life to be lived, and it's just, everywhere you go, you can learn something. And that's why it was so fun to be in Du Bois, Wyoming, which, again, I think their population was like 440 people. They didn't have a pharmacy in town, and the people there were just awesome. They wouldn't let us pay for a cup of coffee. And I learned so much by being there, and the landscape would just look like a movie set backdrop, like a poster backdrop. It didn't look real at all. And it was so wonderful to see what their lives are like, and it was inspiring. That's the best part about traveling for me.
Yeah, and everyone said that, The Lord of the Rings, when it was filmed, it's so beautiful. And I'm telling you, it's 10 times prettier in person than.
Oh my gosh!
Yes,
I thought they didn't have to do any CGI post work on this film. I mean, you think that they did, and then you're there and you're like, no, this is, you could just, I was super lucky, and I got to go on a little helicopter tour, and which is something that is kind of, very encouraged there. It's like an adventure land over there. And I just felt like I could see the hobbits like walking along the side of these jetting cliffs and temperate rainforest, and it was beautiful.
Oh yeah. How far down south did you end up going?
I think the furthest we got down was, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm forgetting the name of this amazing place. A little bit further than Franz Josef, but not too far.
You didn't go all the way down to Wellington?
No, we didn't have enough time.
Oh my goodness.
And we really spent a lot of time in Queenstown, where we were kind of on this adventure kick and did like canyoning and all these great things, glacier hiking and stuff. Well, that was in Franz
the glacier hiking.
Well, that's always the difficulty with traveling, right?
Yeah.
Is like, how many places do I see and how much time do I spend in each place? Because you can't do it all.
I know, and you don't want to stretch yourself so thin that you feel so displaced the whole time. But there's just, we just kept saying, okay, well, we're going to go back.
Yeah. Okay, I'm coming with you.
So,
we'll have a beer in New Zealand, too.
Let's have our beer in New Zealand, please.
Can we write that off as a business expense?
I feel like we can.
We'll podcast from there. It'll all be good.
There we go. Traveling's the best. It really is.
Kelsey, it's been 55 minutes with you, which has been fantastic. But
wow.
we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up.
Oh darn! I was just getting to know this girl. She's now my sister. Stop that.
Thank you guys so much for having me on.
You're very welcome.
I really admire what you guys are doing and how you're doing it, and your art level and your emphasis that you place on the intellect. I think that's all very, very cool. So good for you guys, and thank you so much for including me. And
yes, thank you for actually, allowing us to talk to you. It's been a pleasure.
Oh.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, the pleasure is all mine, guys. Thank you so much.
And would you come back again?
I would love to anytime, please.
Okay, when your movie premieres, we want to talk to you again.
Yeah.
Absolutely. In fact, I'd love to get the cast together to talk to you. They're really wonderful, and I think that the exact vibe of this show, you would just love them.
Yeah, that'd be cool. We'll come up and do that. And actually, we're up in LA all the time for red carpets and whatnot. So we'll reach out to you. Maybe we can sit down and do a face-to-face podcast sometime before then too.
Yeah.
Would love that. And then the beer is becoming an actualized dream here. So I like that.
Hey, the podcasts when the guests have beer are so much more fun.
Oh my God. Okay. I'm gonna hold you to that. That sounds like a plan.
All right, Kelsey. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. Have a wonderful rest of your night.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
She's adorable.
I like her.
Yeah.
I think really seriously, I think we can actually get along and be best of friends. Although I'm a little older, I'll probably feel more like a mother. But I think we can really get along and go shopping.
Just show up without your bra; it'll be all good.
Please don't go to the site and try to figure out what I look like without a bra. It's not pretty.
Anyway,
but it is comfortable.
Absolute pleasure to have her on. And, if you enjoyed Kelsey, make sure you check her out on Chasing Life on ABC Family. She said that's on Tuesday nights. Mm-hmm. And I guess she's on for like another 6 episodes. And Cardinal Matter is the film that is in post-production. Should be out sometime next year. We'll be sure to let people know as we get more word about it. And just thank you so much, Kelsey, for joining us. And we really appreciate it. And if you are joining us for the first time on the Intellectual Podcast, thank you for joining us. Please check out the back catalog. The beautiful thing about podcasts, if you are new to podcasts, is
there's a wealth
all the
of
shows are
there.
This is our 52nd or 53rd episode. I'm not sure which time this.
I'd have to go back to the website and count them.
But all the episodes are online. So we've got interviews going back all the way to November. And they're not all interview shows. There are some shows where we're just being ridiculous. And those are a lot of fun too. But We've got interviews.
You and Steve together just crack me up.